Shalom, it's David Benkof, the Broadway Maven. Here's about a minute each of the 25 funniest Broadway show tunes.
Agony, far more painful than yours, when you know she would go with you if there only were doors. Agony, oh, the torture they teach. What's as intriguing or half so fatiguing as what's out of reach? Am I not sensitive, clever, well-mannered, considerate, passionate, charming, as kind as I'm handsome, an heir to a throne? You are everything maidens could wish for. Then why no? Do I know? The girl must be mad. You know nothing of madness till you're climbing her hair, and you see her up there as you're nearing her, all the while hearing her agony, misery. Oh no, it's different for each. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race. I'll dream. I'm the crowd who's out to change our history. I'll myself raise your hand. There's no greater dictator in the land.
I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I ain't the type that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no. I can't resist a Romeo in a sombrero and chaps. Soon as I sit on their laps, something inside of me snaps. I can't say no. My uncle out in Texas can't even write his name. He signs his checks with X's,
But the cash name just the same.
you don't have to come from a great big town not to clean out a stable in an evening gown.
You don't have to have a professor's dome, not to go for the honey when the bee's at home. That comes naturally.
That comes naturally, my tiny baby brother, who's never read a book.
I got two.
Knows one sex from the other.
All we had to do was look.
She's a lovely blooming flower. He's just a sprout. Impossible.
She's a lovely blooming flower. He's all worn out. Impossible.
Just a fledgling in the nest.
Just a man who needs a rest.
He's a beamish boy at best.
Poor old fellow.
He's a child, he's too repressed, while she's full of life. Impossible.
He's a man with chronic asthma, gout, and a wife. Impossible.
Romping in the nursery.
He looks tired.
Son, sit on your father's knee.
Father, you can lean on me.
Impossible.
The situation's fraught, fraughter than I thought, with
Horrible. Impossible.
possibilities.
Dance 10 looks 3, and I'm still on unemployment. Dancing for my own enjoyment. That ain't it, kid, that ain't it, kid. Dance 10 looks 3, it's like to die. Left the theater and called the doctor for my appointment to buy tits and ass. Have myself a fancy pair. Tightened up the derriere. Did the nose with it, all that goes with it. Tits and ass. Had the bingo bongos done. Suddenly I'm getting national dust. Tits and ass won't get you jobs unless
getting the fisheye from the hotel clerk. A person can develop a cold. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cough. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A and the bromo fizz, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the trouble is. If she's getting a kind of a name for herself and the name ain't his, a person can develop a cough. And furthermore, just installing the wedding trip, a person can develop a grip.
There was that waitress back in Kansas City, built for comfort, dumb but pretty. Yeah? Yeah? Man, her perfume sure did smell sweet. Got her up to my hotel suite. Yeah? Yeah? She kills a pint of gin, more or less. The lights are low and she slips off her dress. Yeah? 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 But then I thought about the game. The game, the game. Oh yes, I thought about the game. The game, the game. Though I got the lady high, I just left her high and dry, 'cause I thought about the game.
You're a little bit racist.
Well, you're a little bit too. We're all a little bit racist. I think that I would have to agree with you. We're glad you do. It's sad but true. Everyone's a little bit racist. All right.
All right.
All right. All right. Bigotry has never been exclusively white. If we all could just admit that we are racist a little bit, even though we all know that it's wrong, maybe it would help us get along.
4 Jews in a room bitching. 4 Jews in a room plot a crime. I'm bitching, he's bitching, they're bitching, we're bitching, bitch, 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 bitch. Funny, 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 bitch, 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 all the time. 4 Jews in a room bitching. Whee! 4 Jews talking like Jew-ish men. Funny. I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous.
I'm simple.
I'm Jewish.
Slavery.
Bitch, 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 bitch. Funny. I'm neurotic. He's neurotic. They're neurotic. We're neurotic. I'm neurotic. He's neurotic. They're neurotic. Bitching.
Whenever something bad happens, we just throw our hands to the sky and say, Has Adiga Ibowa.
Does it mean no worries for the rest of our days?
Kind of. We've had no rain in several days. Hasadiga Ibowa. And 80% of us have AIDS. Hasadiga Ibowa.
Pardon me, is everybody there? Because if everybody's there, I want to thank you all for coming to the wedding. I'd appreciate your going even more. I mean, you must have lots of better things to do, and not a word of it to Paul. Remember, Paul, you know the man I'm going to marry, but I'm not, because I wouldn't ruin anyone as wonderful as he is. But I thank you all for the gifts and the flowers. Thank you all. Now it's back to the showers. Don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
Amy, Paul can't find his good cufflinks.
On the dresser, right next to my suicide note. Listen, everybody, look, I don't know what you're waiting for. A wedding, what's a wedding? It's a prehistoric ritual where everybody promises fidelity forever, which is maybe the most horrifying word I've ever heard, and which is followed by a honeymoon where suddenly you realize you settled with it and want to kill me, which you should. So listen, thanks a bunch, but I'm not getting married. Go have lunch, because I'm not getting married. You've been grand, but I'm not getting married. Don't just stand there, I'm not getting married. And don't tell Paul, but I'm not getting married today.
I married many men, a ton of them. And yet I was untrue to none of them, because I bumped off every one of them to keep my love alive. Sir Paul was frail, he looked a wreck to me. At night he was a horse's neck to me. So I performed an appendectomy to keep my love alive. Sir Thomas had insomnia. this harp to bust the thing. And now he plays where harps are just the thing to keep my love alive.
If she says your behavior is heinous, kick her right in the Coriolanus. Brush up your Shakespeare, and they'll all cow. If you can't be a ham and do Hamlet, they will not give a damn or a damnlet. Just recite an occasional sonnet, and your lap will have honey upon it. When your baby is pleading for pleasure, let her sample your measure for measure. Brush up your Shakespeare, and they'll all cow. Forsooth, and they'll all cow.
Hey, little girl with the cash to burn. Well, I'm selling something you won't return. Hey, little girl, take me off the shelf. This is hard having fun playing with yourself. Once you browse through the whole selection, she knows you in my perfection. Bring back his levels. Take me home and then on the back. Shop around and look down, I've got to be the lady's choice. The lady's choice.
When I can fondle the hand I'm fond of, I fondle the hand at hand. My heart's in a pickle, it's constantly fickle, and not to particle I fear. When I'm not near the girl I love the girl I'm near. What if they're tall and tender? What if they're small and slender? Long as they've got that gender, I surrender. Always I can't refuse some. Always my feet pursue some. Long as they've got a booze and I lose some.
You may have the finest sets, fill the stage with penthouse pets. You may have the loveliest costumes and best shoes. You may dance and you may sing, but I am sorry, Arthur King, you'll hear no cheers, just lots and lots of boos. Boo. You may have butchmen by the score, whom the audience adore. You may even have some animals from zoos. Though you pose and crouch instead, you may have unleavened bread, but I tell you, you are dead if you don't have any Jews. You may fill your plays with gays, have Nigerian girls and stays.
You may even have some chicks on making stews.
You haven't got a clue. If you don't have a Jew, all of your investments you are going to lose.
There's a very small percentile who enjoys a dancing Gentile. I'm sad to be the one with this bad news.
Never mind your sword play, you just won't succeed on Broadway. You just don't succeed on Broadway if you don't have any Jews.
We'll always be dear companions, my crony, my mate. We'll always be harmonizing. Orphan Annie and Sandy, like Amos and Andy. If I say that your sense of style's as far off as your youth, it's simply that. Who else but a bosom buddy will tell you the whole stinking truth?
Food beyond compare,
Food beyond belief.
mix it in a mince and pretend it's beef.
Kidney of a horse.
Lip of a cat, filling up the sausages with this and that.
Residents are more than welcome.
Variety Street is occupied. Reasonable charges plus some little extras on the side.
Charge it for the lights.
Flashed up with a mice. 2% for looking in the mirror twice.
Here a little slice.
And their little cut. 3% for sleeping with the window shut. But when it comes to fixing prices,
There's a lot of
poetic, I'm so pathetic that I always have found it best, instead of getting them off my chest, to let them rest unexpressed. I hate parading my serenading, as I'll probably miss a bar. But if this ditty is not so pretty, at least it'll tell you how great you are. You're the top, you're the Colosseum, you're the top, you're the Louvre Museum, you're a melody from a symphony by Strauss, you're a Bendelbon and a Shakespeare sonnet, you're Mickey Mouse.
Just like a busy bee, each new philosophy can't fly from tree to tree and keep me moving. When life's a dizzy maze on alternating days, I choose a different phrase.
Your new philosophy,
Philosophy.
Sally. Some philosophies are simple. Man does not live by bread alone. Some philosophies are clear.
Leave your message at the sound of the tone. Some philosophies pick and choose, deciding what goes in it.
Some take a lifetime.
Mine take a minute.
Dear, kindly judge your honor. My parents treat me rough with all their marijuana. They won't give me a puff. They didn't want to have me, but somehow I was had. Leaping lizards, that's why I'm so bad. My father is a bastard. My mom's an SOB. My grandpa's always plastered. My grandma pushes tea. My sister wears a mustache. My brother wears a dress. Goodness gracious, that's why I'm a mess.
Yes, Officer Krabby, you're really a slob. This boy don't need a doctor, just a good honest job. Society's played him a terrible trick. Sociologically, he's sick. I am sick.
We are sick, we are sick, we are sick, sick, sick. Like we're sociologically sick. Gee, Officer Krabby, what are we to do? Officer Krabby, Krab you!
Don't be offended by my frank analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Now that I've chosen to become a phallicist and advisor, there's nobody wiser. Not when it comes to popular. I know about popular. And with an assist from me to be who you'll be instead of dreary who you were, well, are. There's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular. La, 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 la. We're gonna make you popular. When I see depressing creatures with unprepossessing features, I remind them on their own behalf to think of celebrated heads of state or especially great communicators. Did they have brains or knowledge? Don't make me laugh. They were popular.
Since Marine doesn't appeal to you, how about Rear Admiral?
Oh, it's too salty. I prefer General.
With or without his privates? With is extra.
What is that?
It's fop, finest in the shop. Or we have some shepherd's pie peppered with actual shepherd on top. And I've just begun. There's the politician so oily, it's served with the doily, not one.
Put it on a bun. Well, you never know if it's going to run.
Try the fryer, fried is drier.
Nah, the clergy is really too coarse and too mealy.
Then actor, that's compactor.
And always arrives overdone.
It's a musical! What do you talk? What do you talk? It's a musical! A Susical? No, a musical with girls on stage! A musical! We've got snappy repartee, and the women are risque, and the chorus boys are kinda gay. A musical! A true blue new musical! Oh, stand back! It's a musical! Shiny, mighty, finey, glitter, glitz, and chorus liney. Bob your head and shake your hiney music.
And here's a video I think you'll like.